a presumption to prosecute for younger offenders, a change in the so-called gravity factors.
It just so happens that on the same day the Tories outlined their plans, Jack Straw's announced what's being described as a stocktake of the penalties for carrying a knife. This just weeks before new sentencing guidelines come into force, drawn up by an independent body. A first offence for carrying a knife will be punished with a fine, not a spell in prison. The maximum sentence for the offence is 4 years in jail. David Cameron may think jail's the answer, but with spaces so tight, where would prisoners go?
We will have to build more prisons. We've got very expensive inner city prisons. Those could be redeveloped outside our cities for more places. This is what needs to be done.
Seemingly easy solutions from the politicians, nothing easy for those families who've lost so much. Alex Forrest, News at 10, Westminster.
Britain is to throttle back on plans for more biofuels for cars. While world leaders in Japan debated high food and fuel prices, a report published in Britain says growing crops for biofuel is making food more expensive. A report from the G8 conference in a moment, but first, our consumer editor Chris Choi reports on why biofuel targets will now be watered down.
The biofuel picture isn't as pretty as the government first thought. Tonight it's slamming the brakes on after warnings that planting more could increase food prices and damage biodiversity.
They are, in fact, reducing the greenhouse gas emissions that occur, and they are also increasing food prices. And we believe, until these effects are better understood, we should slow down on our growth in biofuels.
Currently, 2.5% of motoring fuel is made from agricultural products. The government had wanted the proportion increasing to 5% by 2010, but today's review says that should be put back at least 3 years to 2013. Tonight, government accepted those findings, but many farmers do not. Since Lawrence Matthews harvested last year, this oilseed rape, which can be used for fuel, has doubled in price.
He's got a point, hasn't he? This kind of thing is driving up food prices.
Well, actually, I don't think it is. It's not biofuels. Only 1% of the world area is biofuel. The main reason food prices have gone up is because of China and India. The demand for food is much, much higher than it used to be.
Take just 1 hectare of agricultural land like this, about the size of a football pitch. It can produce about 8 tons of crops. Now, if you turn that into ethanol, it can fill around 50 average fuel tanks. But if instead you turn it into flour, that can create 13,000 loaves.
And on top of food fears, where large-scale biofuel planting has happened overseas, there's been alarm about potential damage to rainforests and all to power our cars.
What this report is showing is that government needs to rethink its approach to biofuels, which are causing tropical deforestation, increasing food prices and causing hunger in many parts of the world.
The rush to biofuel is global, as are the issues of food prices and hunger, making Britain's change of policy of little real impact. Chris Choi, News at 10, Surrey.
At the G8 summit, Gordon Brown spelled out one way the price of food could be brought down. He said people need to reduce the amount of food they throw away. The average British family wastes more than £400 a year in that way, he said. From the summit in Japan, our political editor Tom Bradley reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Japan.
Welcome to Japan indeed, and a summit of plenty, total cost a stonking £283 million, convened to discuss a world in economic crisis. A lot has changed since last year. All the leaders gathered here now pretty much accept one simple fact: there's not enough oil and food to go around. So what's the solution? Well, our own Prime Minister caused a bit of a stir this morning by suggesting part of it was for us all to engage in some good housekeeping.
We have proposed that we double food production in Africa so that they can sell to the rest of the world as well. And of course it's right to remind people that about £8 a week is wasted in our food consumption, and that we could do better at home as well.
If David Cameron ever makes it into this elite club, he's going to fit right in. There may not be a hoodie in sight, but hugging, well, that's definitely on the menu. After a 6-course lunch, the world leaders settle down tonight to an 8-course dinner. Tomorrow, a big agenda awaits them. As you wander around this enormous media city, built simply and only for the 2-day summit, it is easy to be cynical, but it's worth remembering that the G8 is not just an elite club, it is a very powerful one. So what could be achieved over the next couple of days? Well, greater pressure on Zimbabwe for one thing, and possibly a new world trade deal after many years of trying. There is, as always here, a lot at stake. Tom Bradby, News at 10, in Japan.
The former SAS officer Simon Mann, who tried to overthrow a West African government in the name of oil, is tonight beginning a 34-year jail sentence. He sat impassively in the court as he was found guilty of plotting a coup in Equatorial Guinea. During the trial, he'd implicated Sir Mark Thatcher. Today, as Damon Green reports, Simon Mann said he knew what to expect in jail.
We must condemn, and we condemn Simon Francis Mann.
The last 4 years he spent in jail. This, the moment at the age of 56, Simon Mann finds out he has over 3 decades more behind bars. By the time he comes out, he'll be 90.
Total to be in prison, 34 years and 2 days.
Ex-Eton, Sandhurst, the Guards and the SAS now facing his sentence as a challenge of endurance, in his words, to push it.
Well, you have to push it. I've no idea. I don't know how it works. Maybe you can appeal. I don't know.
In a country where even the right to appeal isn't enshrined in law, and where he's made an enemy of the only man who really counts, few would back Simon Mann to overturn this sentence. But this is a man who's made adventure his life's work. Captured in 2004 with a group of fellow mercenaries and a plane load of weapons, Mann admitted his part in a planned coup d'etat in the state of Equatorial Guinea, but always insisted he was the manager of the scheme, never its mastermind. The target, President Teodoro Nguema, a man who holds all the strings in this tiny West African state, tiny but blessed with vast oil reserves. In court, Mann named Mark Thatcher, son of Baroness Thatcher, as one of the ringleaders. He was released with a fine and suspended sentence after making a deal with South African prosecutors, saying he financed the operation without knowing what it involved. But whatever the conspiracy, it never got off the ground.
Prospect of 34 years in Black Beach Prison.
Well, yeah, if you've got to push it, you've got to push it. And at least I know now I can push it after 4 years in Zimbabwe.
Smiling at the prospect of life in an African jail, and as he leaves the courtroom, the ghost of a wink for the cameras. Whatever his crimes, it's hard to doubt his nerve. Damon Green, News at 10.
Still to come on News at 10 tonight, the hunt for missing Madeleine. How the McCann search has been given a boost by British police.
These are 81 new pieces of information for our investigators to work on. 81 potential new leads, new doors to be knocked on.
Remembering Corporal Sarah Bryant, full military honours for the first woman soldier killed in Afghanistan.
And the tiny twins born to a panda caught up in China's devastating earthquake.
Rare and remarkable sight. All coming up in just 1 minute.
The new Mazda 2, World Car of the Year 2008.
Exceptional offers on fresh fruit and veg at Aldi this month. Plums 69p, British new potatoes 69p, white seedless grapes 69p, Aranca vine tomatoes 69p, honeydew melons 69p, and peppers 69p. A great price, whichever way you look at it. Aldi. Spend a little, live a lot.
Only one bottle's been chosen as Britain's most trusted probiotic. Actimel, scientifically proven to help support your body's defences.
Welcome back. The parents of Madeleine McCann finally got hold of some British police evidence about their daughter's disappearance today, which they'll now use for their own investigation. 81 items were handed over by Leicestershire police after Kate and Jerry McCann went to court to request their files. As Neil Connery reports, the McCanns got support and an optimistic message from the judge hearing the case.
In the early stages of the inquiry into Madeleine McCann's disappearance, a number of phone calls made to the couple's solicitors were passed on to Leicestershire Constabulary's incident room. The police have now agreed to provide details about those early calls to the McCanns, who say it could help their efforts to find out what happened. The couple's spokesman welcomed the decision.
These are 81 new pieces of information for our investigators to work on. 81 potential new leads, new doors to be knocked on. We didn't have this time yesterday. We're very grateful, Kate and Jerry are very grateful to Leicestershire Police for reaching this compromise.
So what will the McCanns be given? There are around 11,000 entries in Leicestershire Police files on the Madeleine McCann investigation. 81 of those pieces of information will be handed over, relating to phone calls to the police incident room. They'll include the name of the caller, contact details, and a summary of the information they gave. Urging anyone with information to come forward, the judge, Mrs. Justice Hogg, told the hearing, there is of course at least one person who knows what has happened to Madeleine and where she may be found. I ponder about that person, whether that person has a heart and can understand what it must be like to have been torn and secreted from her parents and siblings, whom she loves and felt secure with, and whom she no doubt misses and grieves for.
The McCann's own team of private investigators will now get to work on the new information they've been handed. They're determined to get to the bottom of it to see whether any of it might, just might, unlock the mystery of exactly what has happened to Madeleine McCann. Neil Connery, News at 10 at the High Court.
As one of Labour's safest seats, you might have thought that an aspiring MP would be queuing up to become the party's candidate for a by-election in Glasgow East. Tonight they've finally chosen one after rejections and withdrawals, and she only wants to do the job part-time. As our political correspondent Libby Vina reports from Glasgow, it's a bad start for what could turn out to be an even worse result for the Prime Minister.
It's one of Glasgow's toughest areas. It was one of Labour's safest seats. So safe, in fact, that this was something the party never had to bother with before, canvassing for votes.
So I can put you down as Labour 5.
But here in Gordon Brown's backyard, the political wind is changing.
Do you think it's a safe seat anymore? No, I wouldn't say so, no. I think the SNP have got more chance of getting in, even Conservative.
Do you think Gordon Brown's a good Prime Minister?
So.
4 candidates turned down the chance to stand for Labour. Only tonight, a week into the campaign, was this woman, Margaret Curran, finally chosen. If Labour can't win here in one of Britain's most deprived areas, the theory goes it can't win anywhere. The message to every single Labour MP, no seat is safe. It's a doomsday scenario, but the very fact that it's being talked about at all must send shivers down Gordon Brown's spine. It's also why David Cameron took the trouble to venture into what has traditionally been a political wilderness for the Tories.
I'm a Conservative myself, believe it or not.
Good to see you.
Kid.
That's all right.
Yes,
Don't forget to vote.
It was nice to meet you.
Won't forget to vote, will you?
Some even recognised him today.
Brilliant.
Oh, aye,
Good to
yes,
see you.
aye, no problem.
But realistically, the Conservatives have no hope of winning here. It's the SNP, led by Alex Salmond, that are the real challengers. Today, he was making the most of Labour's selection woes.
The people in Glasgow East will make their choice over the next 2.5 weeks as to whether they want John Mason as a full-time Member of Parliament or Margaret Curran or whoever the Labour candidate is, who is the 4th, 5th or 6th choice for this seat.
With the Liberal Democrats also hoping to make progress, this will be a closely fought contest. The future of Glasgow East also possibly determining the future of Gordon Brown. Libby Vina, News at 10, Glasgow.
Survivors of the July 7th terrorist attacks in London gathered with families of the victims today to mark the 3rd anniversary of the bombings. Flowers were left at a memorial at King's Cross Station and a minute's silence was observed. 52 people were killed when 4 suicide bombers detonated their devices on tube trains and a bus in London.
In the country church where she was married only 2 years ago, Corporal Sarah Bryan, the first woman soldier killed in Afghanistan, was buried today. A place of such happiness then became a place of mourning today. An ancient oasis of peace reminded of the noise and chaos of modern warfare. As Emma Murphy reports, Corporal Bryant was buried with full military honours.
The Ditch Gate at Wetherall Parish Church was built to honour villagers who gave their lives in 2 world wars. Now, another of their fallen soldiers has passed through them. A different war, a different generation. But for those who mourn Corporal Sarah Bryant, the same heartbreaking mix of emotions, of pride and devastation. Just 3 years ago, Sarah Bryant married her husband Carl in this very same church. A radiant bride. Now, along the path where in 2005 she smiled and posed for pictures, comes her coffin. The radiant bride, now the first woman soldier to die in Afghanistan. The Union flag, a treasured green beret of the Intelligence Corps, and medals of service in Iraq and Afghanistan, representing how much she's achieved in 26 years. Yet for her husband Carl, following behind in his green beret, and for Sarah Bryant's family, how short a time it must have seemed since the day that this church was a place to celebrate, not mourn. For those who knew Sarah Bryant gathering inside and out, she was remembered as an adored wife, a cherished daughter, and, in her husband's words, an awesome soldier. As she was laid to rest with full military honours, prayers were said for those other 3 soldiers who lost their lives that day in Lashkargah. Soldiers who, like Sarah Bryant, left the safety of their home to pursue a dream and a goal they believed was worth the sacrifice.
Emma Murphy reporting there on the funeral of Corporal Sarah Bryant.
Our headline tonight is the growing split in the Church of England over women bishops.
Members of the Church's ruling body, the General Synod, have thrown out a compromise plan to placate vicars who don't believe they should be led by a woman, and in the last few minutes have voted to go ahead with the creation of women bishops.
And finally, in a part of the world that suffered so much death, 2 new lives have demonstrated nature's survival instinct. A pregnant panda caught up in the Chinese earthquake 2 months ago has just given birth to twins. Our China correspondent John Ray reports on 2 tiny symbols of hope.
Watch carefully. This doesn't happen very often. The first baby panda of 2008, the born survivor. Precious as any panda, but this one is extra special. Blind, hairless and helpless, he and a twin are cubs of the quake and therefore cause for celebration. Their mother, Guo Guo, then pregnant, escaped from the ruins of the Wolong Panda Sanctuary, where baby pandas were carried to safety as landslides threatened to engulf their enclosures. Since we visited last month, most of the pandas we saw have been evacuated. There's a shortage of bamboo, and the surrounding mountains are still judged too hazardous for them to stay. The earthquake claimed the life of 1 captive adult and an unknown number in the wild, where fewer than 1,600 survived. 12-year-old Guo Guo was soon recaptured, though scientists weren't sure her pregnancy would progress. But she has now given the nation a happy ending in time for the Olympics, just 1 month away. John Ray, News at 10, China.
And that's tonight's News at 10.
Coming next, the national weather and the news where you are. We're back at the same time tomorrow, but now from Julie and from me and from the entire team here. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, now let's see if we can make a saving on your car insurance. That's great. If I can just take a few details.
ITV National Weather, sponsored by eSure.
Hello, good evening. There's still plenty of time this summer for us to have a fine settled spell, but it's not going to be starting this week. Tomorrow looks like a showery day, and Wednesday will be a wet day for many of us. Now, we've had some very heavy showers this evening. Most of them will die down overnight. A few light showery spots left by the end of the night. Some clear spells in between those showers, and temperatures getting down to around 10 or 11. And then tomorrow, well, by our recent standards, tomorrow counts as a half-decent day. There will be showers around, especially up in the north and east, but the showers much more scattered and lighter than they were today. Some dry spells in between, the odd glimpse of sunshine too. The clouds creeping into the south and west as we go through the afternoon and evening. That's Wednesday's rain on its way. So let's make the most of tomorrow. Temperatures are high teens, low 20s.
ITV National Weather, sponsored by eShore.
Need to tile your walls or floor? For great summer savings, pick up one of our all-you-need room deals from only £99. Tops Tiles. Tiling the nation.
Did you know you can bet on the Irish Lotto at your local betting shop? With Irish Lotto Bet, you simply pick 3 numbers between 1 and 45, match 3 numbers, and you win £1,152, all for a £2 bet. Irish Lotto Bet, every Wednesday and Saturday, in your local betting shop.
Good evening, your news in Scotland today. The parents of Glasgow prostitute Emma Caldwell have been told 4 men charged with her murder will not go on trial. The men of Turkish origin were arrested last August and would normally go on trial within a year. The Crown Office has confirmed that will not happen, but say they may look at the possibility of a trial later. Our senior reporter Mike Edwards has this exclusive report.
27-year-old Emma Caldwell was last seen alive, leaving this women's hostel on the south side of Glasgow in April 2005. Her body was found a month later in woods at Roberton in South Lanarkshire. Emma Caldwell had been working as a prostitute in Glasgow city centre to fund her heroin habit. Her parents have attended a series of meetings with officials from the Crown Office and Strathclyde Police over the weekend. They have been told that the 4 men who have been charged with their daughter's murder will not face trial. 4 men of Turkish origin were arrested on August the 31st last year and charged with her murder. Ordinarily, under the Scottish legal system's rules, they would go on trial within a year. The Caldwell family are too upset to go on camera, but have expressed their extreme disappointment at the outcome of what has been one of Strathclyde Police's longest and highest profile inquiries. Tonight, the Crown Office said the decision had been taken not to go to trial at this stage, but the door was open to look again at the case in the future. Strathclyde Police have refused to comment. Mike Edwards, STV News, Glasgow.
The Scottish Labour Party has tonight confirmed MSP Margaret Curran as their candidate for the Glasgow East by-election. Meanwhile, as the SNP officially launched their campaign today, David Cameron, also in the constituency, described Gordon Brown's government as rudderless, leaderless and shambolic. Here's our political editor, Bernard Ponsonby.
The mission, overturn a Labour majority of over 13,000. Their agenda, hammer Labour relentlessly on fuel increases. The SNP predicted today that up to half the voters in Glasgow East could soon be in fuel poverty. Their candidate promised to get mean.
This area has had MPs over many, many years who, however nice they were personally, went down there and were just very, very quiet. And I think my record in Glasgow City Council is that I'm not afraid to speak out. I'm not afraid to challenge the establishment, and that will not change when I go to Westminster.
David Cameron was out and about in the East End today in search of Tory votes.
Yeah, look, we got one voter already.
Perhaps a sign of changing times that he found the response sympathetic.
I'm a Conservative myself, believe it or not.
Good to see you.
Kid.
That's all right.
Yes,
Don't forget to vote.
It was nice to meet you.
Won't forget to vote, will you?
Well, I know, I do. Oh,
Take your mates along as well. Brilliant.
Oh, aye,
Good
yes,
to see you.
aye, no problem. Thank you.
Then it was off to listen to parental concerns about existing drug strategies.
In the past, you've done a lot of voluntary work and been into schools and given, but a lot of schools aren't interested in you giving them a
He too couldn't resist a dig at Labour's woes.
No leader in Scotland, no candidate in the by-election, a Prime Minister who won't visit the constituency. It does seem completely rudderless, leaderless and shambolic. And that is bad enough for people in Glasgow East who got this by-election that they didn't expect. But for the rest of the country, it's even more tragic. This government is just sort of falling apart in front of us.
The Liberal Democrats, like Labour, launch tomorrow. Then the gloves come off. Expect a fortnight of bruising exchanges.
Bernard Ponsonby reporting there. 10 Scots a week have a limb amputated as a result of diabetes. Campaigners are highlighting the shock statistic to raise awareness of the life-shattering impact of the illness. Experts say in many cases amputation could have been prevented with better management of the condition. Our reporter Sharon Frew has been speaking to one diabetic who lost both his legs about his struggle to walk again.
For 14 years, Alistair McIntosh managed to control his diabetes, but then very quickly complications set in and he lost both his legs within 6 months.
But the doctor eventually comes down and tells you that, you know, he can't do much more and you'll lose a limb. And basically the next day you lose a limb, you know. And a few days later they take you down to a gym, put an inflatable leg on and ask you to walk, which is quite a traumatic experience. Some people can cope with it, some people, you know, obviously can't.
It's estimated as many as 60,000 people are not aware that they have type 2 diabetes. A simple blood test is all that's needed to check. But what this research has found is an alarming lack of awareness of the condition amongst those who've already been diagnosed.
Figures show that 1 in 3 diabetics didn't know the risks of amputation. Every week, 10 people lose a limb as a result of complications. 70% of these patients who undergo this surgery die within 5 years.
And what we're calling for is for better education, support and advice for people with diabetes and more access to podiatry and specialist podiatry services.
To hear the figures that we're putting out just now is quite frightening actually. You know, knowing that the problems that can occur, you know. It's probably a hidden thing because you don't know about amputations until it happens to you and you meet amputees. You don't realise there's so many of them.
With the help of physiotherapists and the Murray Foundation, Alistair has walked again. At the moment he has to use a wheelchair until a wound on his knee heals. He says he takes some of his strength from counselling others facing his situation.
The hardest thing to realise was you were never going to be the person you were before. That's taken a long time. You can only tell them what happened to you and hope that it encourages them to, you know, look forward. It's difficult to do at the stage of the amputated, you know. Difficult, and hopefully I do help people, I hope, you know. But that's just a hope, you know.
Sharon Frew, STV News, Glasgow.
Crime is at its lowest level since 2000. New figures show 60,000 fewer crimes were reported over the past year. Victims groups have welcomed the fall, but say sections of the community still have a significant fear of crime. Our chief reporter, David Cowan, has more.
Taken at face value, these figures appear to show that Scotland is becoming safer and more law-abiding. The murder rate has gone down, along with housebreaking, rape, vandalism, drugs offences, drink driving and speeding. Figures from 7 of the 8 Scottish police forces report 60,000 less crimes than the previous year, a fall of more than 6%.
Well, they're heartening, but we're not complacent. We inherited rising crime figures, but this seems to show that we're tackling it. We're doing it through making sure we deliver a visible police presence in our communities, and as well as tackling the underlying causes of criminal offending, drink, drugs and deprivation.
Various explanations are offered. One expert says the police are becoming smarter, using technology to identify and target crime hotspots. But do these figures represent the reality?
I think there's real concern that crimes that are being committed are not being reported by the public, and I think the police have to give a concentrated effort to ensure that crime is actually reported.
And while crime appears to be falling, the fear of crime is not.
The key challenge to all of us is that in fact those who are least likely to be a victim of crime are actually more fearful. So that's elderly people, women, and particularly older women have got a very disproportionate fear of crime. And in truth, it's very unlikely.
The fact is that the total number of crimes recorded by the 7 police forces is the lowest since the year 2000. And the older you get, the less likely you are to be a victim of crime. David Cowan, STV News.
Police have agreed to release information relating to the disappearance of Madeleine McCann to her parents. Kate and Jerry McCann have dropped their High Court bid to force disclosure of the information held by Leicestershire Police. The McCanns will be given more than 80 files relating to telephone calls. made in the early stages of the inquiry into their daughter's disappearance. A murder jury has been listening to a woman's harrowing last words on the morning she was allegedly stabbed to death by her husband. A chilling 999 call was played at the High Court in Glasgow, in which hysterical Anne Lilburn was heard screaming. Her husband denies murdering her at their home in Arniston Way in Paisley in July last year. A bank worker who killed a man by smashing him over the head with a golf club has been cleared of murder. 23-year-old Liam Peters from Johnston was convicted of the culpable homicide of Kevin Duffy, also from Johnston. Peters, who worked for banking giant HBOS, hit Mr Duffy with a driver, causing him to collapse and die on Beath Road last June. Edinburgh's cherished status as a World Heritage Site is safe, according to the Council's Deputy Leader. Steve Cardini's claim follows the news that UNESCO is to investigate why it wasn't consulted over a controversial city centre development. Arnold Leask has more.
It's one of the most controversial developments Edinburgh has ever seen, and now the Calton Gate project beside Waverley Station has placed the capital's UNESCO World Heritage status under threat. Earlier this year, councillors voted through the proposals despite almost 2,000 objections, which will see a 5-star hotel, shops, offices and new homes built in the heart of the Old Town. Now UNESCO has added its voice to the debate, demanding to know why it wasn't informed. Heritage groups say the intervention is significant.
I think it's unlikely that Edinburgh will lose its World Heritage status, but what this visit does do is flag up some of the issues, and hopefully it will help find some solutions to the development pressures that Edinburgh faces, and how to incorporate them into our very delicate fabric.
Councillors have also been criticised for voting through a 17-storey hotel at Haymarket, whilst Historic Scotland is opposed to the plans for the St James Centre and Leith Docks. But the council insists they are being even-handed.
I mean, we are custodians of this city, and we take it very seriously. And we take very seriously the fact that we do have this status. And we don't want to do anything to jeopardise the status, and that's why we feel we've nothing to fear from an inspection, and we look forward to seeing the inspectors when they arrive.
Edinburgh isn't the only city currently under investigation by UNESCO because of projects like Calton Gate. Liverpool, London and Dresden have also been asked to explain controversial plans. And having last year stripped the nature preserve in Oman of its World Heritage status, UNESCO proved that they can do more than simply issue threats. For a city like Edinburgh, where tourism and the beauty of its buildings are so important, that must be a concern. Arnold Leask, STV News, Edinburgh.
A delegation of Aboriginal people from Australia flew into Edinburgh earlier to take home the human remains of their ancestors. Traditional smoking ceremonies were carried out on 4 skulls and a tiny ear bone before they're taken back to Australia. They've been held in collections by Edinburgh University and the National Museum of Scotland for more than 100 years.
It's the spiritual side of our, I think, to take them back home so their spiritual rest, so that their spirit will go back and rest in our area.
And after so long as
after,
well.
Yeah, 1800s, you know, they came here on a old sailing ship. They're going home on a 747 jet, so you know.
To football news now, and as St Mirren return to pre-season training today, their chairman says construction of the new stadium is on schedule and should be ready to host SPL games by the end of January. Andy Chambers caught up with the team as they prepare for the new campaign, which is now little more than a month away.
Gus McPherson putting his players through their paces at Bellahouston Park this morning as they gear up for the new season. One that begins with a short trip across Glasgow to take on champions Celtic on August the 10th.
Well, I don't think it's ever an easy time to play a strong Celtic team, you know, and it's as tough as it gets, as you said, but we've just got to concentrate on our own level of fitness, you know, to make sure we're ready for that. It's the start of a long season, you know, but as I said earlier, the players are all looking forward to it and they're ready for the challenge.
The Saints manager has been busy during this transfer window. 5 players out and 4 new faces in, all with previous SPL experience.
Well, that's a massive part of it because they know what's expected and what's required, you know, to compete at this level and to get results at this level. Desperate to prove at a new club, you know, that they're going to strengthen the squad. You know, we've no doubts that that's what we'll do. And as I said, we're looking to strengthen in a couple of areas, you know, before the season starts.
One of those to make the move to Paisley is former Falkirk defender Jack Ross.
I don't think there's a lot of the clubs, you know, I think the more and more they're trying to play football the right way. I think the manager's keen to do that.
obviously we've not seen much of the ball so far, and we might not do for another week or so, but once we do, then I'm sure that's what we'll be trying to impress upon us, and obviously I'm comfortable doing that, so I look forward to it.
So, a new season, new players, and come January, a new stadium. The Saints will begin next season's campaign here at Love Street, but by the end of January they'll be playing here, a new 8,000 capacity stadium just a stone's throw away from the old ground.
We hope that we're in a nice position at that point and we just get another wee lift to lift us on a wee bit more. It's an exciting time. Obviously there's a lot of memories from Love Street, but I would hope that the next generation of St Mirren supporters will look back with some fantastic memories, I hope, from the new stadium.
The new ground at Greenhill Road is due to be completed in November, with the home game against Kilmarnock on the 31st of January penciled in as the first game of a new era for the club. Andy Chambers, STV News.
Well, that's tonight's news and sports. Now here's Joe Farrow with the weather forecast.
Flybe, sponsors of STV Weather.
Hello, it wasn't too bad a start to the week, and it looks like we are going to see some brightness around, but always mixed in with a threat of 1 or 2 showers. You can see where the cloud has been across the southern half of Scotland during today, but we're watching out in the Atlantic. This massive cloud is another area of low pressure. It's going to be heading its way in as we head through the middle part of the week, bringing with it more wet weather. Now through tonight, we've still got 1 or 2 showers lurking around. Clearer skies inland do mean temperatures could fall down to around 10 or 11 Celsius with only light winds. But away towards the west, we'll see the clearing skies, and that does mean some brightness around as we head into tomorrow morning. There will be some warm sunshine, still 1 or 2 showers at first, and it looks like for eastern areas from Fife down towards Edinburgh, there could be some low cloud bringing with it damp weather at first. Things should begin to brighten up into the afternoon, but where the sunshine comes along, it will set off 1 or 2 showers. Perhaps one of these will be pretty heavy through the afternoon. Temperatures up to around 19 Celsius in that brightness, but I'm afraid the outlook stays unsettled with some heavier rain as we go through Wednesday.
Flybe, sponsors of STV Weather.
That's all from the STV newsroom for now. You can keep up to date with all the day's events on our website, and we're back tomorrow morning at 11:10. Join us then if you can. In the meantime, from everyone here, enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.
Now on STV, Don and his team race against time to find and free an artist abducted by ruthless counterfeiters in numbers which may contain strong language.
The greatest British chef sources the greatest British ingredients to serve the best of British starters.
Jamie Oliver.
At his Great British Feast.
They should have the courage to have a go. I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. I say.
No.
It's pretty damn good. Get your knife. Get your fork. Dig it. It's delicious.
Marco's Great British Feast continues Wednesday at 9 on STV.
Let's give her some fluid. O negative, please.
I just don't think of myself as maybe not being here in a year's time.
She's got a pulse.
I am praying that she comes through this. I love her to bits.
We want to get a cross-match for 6 unit.
Confidence, they inspire you. They were treating her like their own child.
3 unique journeys to the edge of life. Life and death on the NHS. Thursday at 9 on STV.
We're stubborn, subclass medical care, and we're on call every minute of the day to prove it. I'll be back.
Diazepam 5 milligrams IV now. I'm on it.
So we're trying to get something special going here, an approachable practice for people who have never been to Harley Street before.
You're trying to kill me. I didn't sleep with Felix.
What makes you think I care about that?
It's your stupidity put a man in hospital and almost got him killed.
I'm gonna get you struck off.
We're here to talk about your test results.
Did I pass?
Patients need to know that we can, but it is not part of our job to show them how we feel.
Just because you charge for it, you think that makes you better than everyone else? We're the best team in town. I can't breathe. Hope I haven't missed any of the drama.
A brand new series, Harley Street, coming soon to STV.
Mars planets, chewy caramel, soft nougat, crispy wafer. Mix them up any way you want to get the great Mars taste your way. Mars planets, mix it up.
Have you heard about Scotland's national care standards? Could you pass me the soap? Thank you. They've been created for older folk like me, so we get the right quality of care. Whether you're living in a care home or your own home. Do you do the back of my neck? It's your chance to find out exactly what kind of care you're entitled to. National care standards for the right quality of care. Call for a leaflet today or visit online. Oh, I've lost my soap again.
You're on your own there, pal.
Hey, Mama, it's our second honeymoon. We have to go, eh?
I thought we'd have a taste of Tuscany before we got there. It's my new sauce made with sun-ripened tomatoes, Chianti wine, and aromatic herbs.
I wonder if sauces are this good in Tuscany, eh? Hey, let's just stay here. Today Tuscany, tomorrow Rome, and then...
My new taste of Italy sauce.
When is your Dalio Day?
New Shore Men Absolute. Proven at the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth. Future-ready protection.
Did you know you can bet on the Irish Lotto at your local betting shop? With Irish Lotto Bet, you simply pick 3 numbers between 1 and 45, match 3 numbers, and you win £1,152, all for a £2 bet. Irish Lotto Bet, every Wednesday and Saturday, in your local betting shop.
It's Hothead Carpets. Welcome back to Carpets 2-day sale. It's bigger and better than ever before, and now we do beds too. The Hothead Carpet sale. Don't miss it.
In the race for summer value, choose Citroën. This month, get the spacious 5-door C3 from just $6,995. The stylish C4 that's alive with technology from only $9,995. Or the versatile Zara Picasso from just $9,995. With 3 years 0% APR typical finance available on selected Zara Picasso C3 and C4 models. Text summer to 84118.
Money isn't everything.
Production of previous correspondence, please find and close a disturbance claim.
600 quid. Yes! That's my spending money for abs because I'm salty!
But it is high on the list. High Times, Thursday 10:40 on STV.
Arthur Bills. Hey, Mama, it's our second honeymoon. We have to go, eh?
I thought we'd have a taste of Tuscany before we got there. It's my new sauce made with sun-ripened tomatoes, Chianti wine, and aromatic herbs.
I wonder if sauces are this good in Tuscany, eh? Hey, let's just stay here. Today Tuscany, tomorrow Rome, and then...
My new taste of Italy sauce.
When is your Dalio Day?
do the perfect trick without messing up your hair. New indestructible glue from Studio Line. Concentrated in fixing agents for extreme hold. Flattened, roughed, or crushed. Hair bounces back. It does the trick every time. Indestructible from Studio Line.
Whenever I got near a girl, I had to check to see if I was sweating. I was discreet about it, but for some reason, they'd always notice. But one day, while I was doing my thing, I found a way to stop it.
Sharp focus. New Lynx Dry.
Did you know you can bet on the Irish Lotto at your local betting shop? With Irish Lotto Bet, you simply pick 3 numbers between 1 and 45, match 3 numbers, and you win £1,152, all for a £2 bet. Irish Lotto Bet, every Wednesday and Saturday, in your local betting shop.
Get to Go, Scotland's biggest outdoor store, for our hottest ever deals with your discount card today. Sam Remo's 6-person tent, RRP £200, now £99.99. Tempest 2-person tent, RRP £25, now £14.99. Double block airbed, RRP £20, now £8.99. Hottest ever deals now on at Go, at Coatbridge, Lock Street near Glasgow.
There are 2 main types of broadband in the UK, my friend. One uses copper wire. One uses strands of glass as thin as human hair to carry information by light. It's fiber optic. It's fast. It's designed with the future in mind. Could this be the mother of all broadband? From Virgin Media.
Oh, that would be lovely. It is good. Delicious. Oh, I just love my food to have a real taste to it.
I just want it, unmessed with.
Oh, that's delicious.
You really don't need to complicate good food.
At the heart of Hellmann's real mayonnaise are free-range eggs, vinegar, and oil naturally rich in omega-3. Hellmann's, it's time for real food.
The greatest British chef sources the greatest British ingredients to serve the best of British starters. At his Great British Feast.
They should have the courage to have a go. It's delicious.
Marco's Great British Feast continues Wednesday at 9 on STV.
Hit her husband.
Let's give her some fluid. O negative, please.
I just don't think of myself as maybe not being here.
Pulse.
I am praying that she comes through this. I love her to bits.
We want to get a cross match for 6 units.
The confidence they inspire you. They were treating her like their own child.
3 unique journeys to the edge of life. Life and Death on the NHS. Thursday at 9 on STV.
And you can actually, what we're getting about it is a series of, so you know it's going to be on Monday night at 9 o'clock. You just can select this thing very simply to record each time it comes on.
And then you can just go ding, 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 and you can record every future episode that is going to be coming on television. You don't even have to look at the paper. You've got it all. And it really makes life that bit easier.
At Sainsbury's until Tuesday, you can save a third on all nappies. At these baby prices, you'd be potty not to.
Knockhill's fabulous fortnight in August. First is the spectacular British Superbikes, followed by the British Touring Cars. There's thrills, spills, and huge action. Don't miss out. Pre-book your tickets now. Visit knockhill.com.
Glasgow Taxi, Night Zone. Get home quickly and safely. You see, our business is picking up. 0141 429 7070.
I was thinking, had a feeling we can all be friends. If 10,000 green leaves grow on this tree, we can all be
reunited is free, so now you can keep your friends even closer.
Guess what, man? The Scottish Sun Dream Team's back. Ah, brilliant! And you reckon you'll be able to beat me this year? Aye! And this year the Dream Team prize fund is an even bigger £100,000. Ah, so if you're lucky, you can give me back some of that dosh you owe me. Oh, luck, no. Thrive your skull. Register now for the massive £100,000 Scottish Sun Dream Team. We love it. This skill there is the perfect hiding place for Roger Mulvey.
Excuse me, Emperor, but there's something incredibly thick destroying our lime scale.
Below the waterline. New Domestos Zero Lime Scale.
Sicilian lemons in a gorgeously smooth and fresh sorbet. New lemon sorbet. Carte d'or. Savor the emotions.
One day, a car will come along that's powered very differently. Dramatically enhanced performance will be combined with lower CO2 emissions. That day is today. Lexus Hybrid Drive.
If you keep your eyes open, you can see things. I would have her on the top of your list. You know, he spends a lot of time sitting in his car outside.
Everyone in Midsummer seems to be doing Barnaby's job.
I had hoped I'd be the one asking the questions.
Even his own family.
You do all my detective work for me?
I can't help hearing things.
How did she find that out? She has her sources.
But is Mrs. Barnaby in over her head? A brand new case in Midsummer Murders, Sunday at 8 on STV.
Ian Wright sets off across the states from Florida to California at 12:40, but now some traditional music.